Hi there, boys and girls, lords, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch, back on the camera again one more time. And, of course, great it is to be here. Here I am with my snuff box and my cup of tea, sitting here like a traditional English individual. I mean, basically, you know, I am what it would be like if this was like 200 years ago, but we had Windows 7 technology. Maybe I should try and be cooler and wear a bomber jacket and be playing pool and drinking a Bud Light, but what the hell, you know, you get what you're given here, I'm sorry. But never mind. Alright, now, I'm going to go back to some of the worst writings that there are in the whole wide world. It is, of course, the Collins Gem Book of Predicting. And I've just been leafing through it, and this is the perfect reason why you should never rely upon the instructions which is in any particular book upon tarot. Okay, it says here, I mean, it's got a section on the major arcana of the tarot. We got the moon. This is what it says here. All the irrational, superstitious associations of the moon can make this unfortunate card for the rational person, because it indicates a time when only intuition, the non-rational side, can overcome obstacles. Yet the non-rational must be used with care, for it can lead towards a dangerous fantasy world. And when reversed, warns against fearing the non-rational and settling for a life of stagnation and sterility. I mean, cheer us up, for crying out loud, why don't you? I mean, bloody hell. I mean, you've got to know stuff to do this job, okay? It's not a question of, oh, we've got the moon, and that's what it says here the moon is about, and therefore I'm going to believe and accept it, and that's the meaning. I'm going to go around telling people that that's what the meaning of the moon is, because the little book says so. No. I mean, here we have a depiction of the moon on, of course, the delightful and amazing Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot, which is beautiful. Yes, my Crowley Thoth Tarot is very worn, because I use it all the time, every single day. I use it for the tarot show, I use it for my work, that's basically what it is. But the depiction here is a little more interesting. You know, we got some cosmological associations, we got something which looks like the sun underneath, the moon on top, so there's a recognition of the sun is below when the moon is above. What else have we got there? You've got these two creatures here. They can mean a wide variety of different things, but when you're doing this, you know, when you're doing your readings intuitively, it can mean an awful lot more. The moon symbolizes the nighttime. It therefore symbolizes dreams, hopes, and aspirations, so essentially something good you've always wanted coming into fruition or just nearly there. It can speak of something of a romantic nature. It can speak about a fantasy world, yes. But there's also very positive aspects. I mean, have you ever had a moment when you've been like daydreaming or you know, you go to bed at night with an idea in your mind and you think, I can't quite, you know, find a solution to this problem, and you wake up with a solution? Because that's because at night time your mind has been churning on the problem, okay, trying to work out different possibilities, and then when you wake up in the morning, hey, everything's a lot clearer, you're a lot better, you know, much more whole and the rest of it. So essentially a lot of good things can come out of the moon card, not a question of irrationality, because there is still some of your logical thinking processes combined with your creative thinking processes which occur at night time. It can also speak about creativity in a different way through meditation or just being a creative individual. This card is also associated in my mind's eye with those of an artistic temperament, those who paint or create or write and express themselves, express ideas through the written word. The moon card is actually very symbolical of people who actually work on YouTube and create great works of video art here on YouTube itself, because it's talking about that creative aspect. Not only creativity in terms of problem solving, but also creativity in terms of the actual manifestation of something from, you know, the human astral world, which is basically the mind's eye. Alright, so from your mind's eye you create something, a fascinating work of art, and that's one of the many associations. It speaks of things which are hidden, or things which are trapped as well, or sometimes hidden knowledge, or things which have been hidden from you, physical things as well as in terms of ideas. It's speaking about revelation, or having things revealed to you bit by bit through the creative process in life. Okay, there's also a bit of a nautical association, because the moon speaks of water as well, because obviously the moon affects the tides. You've got to connect the ideas, alright, so creatively, obviously, so that you can start to see what the message of the moon is, and it will vary with every single reading and every single question. So if you're the kind of person who thinks, well, you know, the tarot was so true because I laid out a few cards and the book said this, that and the other, you know, you're not quite reading it right. And also you've got to think closely about what the inquirer is saying, what their needs are. You've got to know people if you're going to do readings. I mean, essentially there's the number of people out there who just pick up a pack of cards and say, yes, I am a tarot reader, but they haven't actually allowed the story to be able to develop. They haven't used the cards to develop a story based upon the questions which have been asked of them. Okay, so it's much more complex than a lot of people think. Alright, also think about the astrological associations of the moon card as well. It has connections with Cancer, right, or the astrological sign of Cancer, therefore speaks about a certain time of the year. You know, it's all there. It's just so much. Okay, and also travel is a message as well, because the moon travels across the sky. You got the sun disk being pushed by the scarab underneath there. Okay, that's also talking about travel. It also connects with lots of other myths, including those of from the Norse pantheon, because although the mythology is different within the Scandinavian world, some of the ideas which are behind the mythology are still very similar. So there's also like a nature-orientated message there. I mean, it's complex stuff. I've only just like scraped the tip of the iceberg of what the moon card can signify, and the word there is can and not does signify. You could probably write like an entire story based purely upon that one card. You could write a book, a treatise in its own right. You can compare and contrast different expressions of what the moon is in various different tarot packs and have a look at them and try and get like much more in the way of detail as to what the original, if there was an original meaning of the moon, could be. Of course, I personally don't think that there was an original meaning. It's just that the meanings have developed, and the interpretations of the meanings have developed along with the cultural genre of what tarot has become. You know, it really is a contemplative work of abstract art in your pocket. Let's just say there's more to it than meets the eye. That's all I'll leave you with right now.